Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a concept today that sounds, well, maybe a bit sci-fi, but it's a real modern concern. Digital dementia.
Yeah, it's an intriguing term. A little alarming, maybe.
Definitely alarming. It was coined by a German neuroscientist, Dr. Manfred Spitzer, I think back in 2012.
That's right. And he used it to describe the sort of pattern of cognitive decline.
Things like reduced attention, memory span issues, forgetfulness, trouble concentrating.
Exactly. And the idea, the supposed cause, was our heavy use of digital devices, our relationship with tech.
Dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
The idea that our gadgets could be, I don't know, short-circuiting our brains, that's pretty scary to think about.
It really is. So the big question is, what's the reality here?
Is digital dementia a real thing we need to worry about? Or maybe, a bit of a myth?
We're somewhere in between.
Right. So we're going to dig into the sources you shared with us, see what the science actually says, and it gets pretty surprising, often contradictory even.
Yeah, what's really counterintuitive, especially with all the panic, is what a huge 2025 meta-analysis found. It was published in Nature Human Behavior, looking specifically at older adults.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't a tiny study, right?
Not at all. Over 411,000 adults. Average age was almost 69.
Wow. And for that group, the findings really challenge this whole digital dementia idea.
Completely flips the script, you could say. What they discovered was, well, pretty stunning.
Go on.
Digital tech use was linked to a 58% reduced risk of cognitive impairment.
Reduced by that much.
Yep. And not just that, but also a 26% slower rate of cognitive decline over time.
So wait, for older adults, using tech might actually be protective.
That's what the data strongly suggests. It really backs up this idea called the technological reserve hypothesis.
Meaning that, actively using tech builds up some kind of mental buffer.
Exactly, a sort of cognitive reserve that helps protect brain function as we age.
Okay, that's a powerful finding. A real challenge to the common narrative. But, it can't be the whole story, can it? Are there still legitimate concerns?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely not a universal benefit across all ages. We do know, generally speaking, human attention span has dropped. Remember that stat?
Yeah.
12 seconds back in 2000.
Down to just 8 seconds by 2013. Yeah.
And when you look at younger adults, say 18 to 25, the picture changes quite a bit.
How so?
Well, studies there do link smartphone addiction, and that's a key word to problems like forgetfulness, being easily distracted.
And even physical brain changes.
Yeah, things like thinning of the cerebral cortex, less gray matter volume. It's concerning.
And I imagine it gets even more critical when we talk about kids and teenagers.
Definitely. Their brains are still developing, making them much more vulnerable. Excessive screen time, that smartphone addiction pattern, it's linked to lower attention accuracy.
And could potentially interfere with normal brain development, all that constant stimulation.
That's the worry. It really makes you think about how and when we introduce tech during those crucial years.
So beyond just observing these effects, what's actually happening in the brain? What are the mechanisms?
Well, one big one is something called the Google effect, or sometimes digital amnesia.
Okay, what's that?
It's basically how relying on external digital tools, Google search, notes apps, whatever, lowers the demand on our own memory.
So we don't bother remembering the information itself if we know we can just look it up again?
Pretty much. Our recall for the info drops, but interestingly, our memory for where to find the info often gets better.
So we remember the path, not the destination. We're outsourcing the effort.
Kind of, yeah. Then there's attention fragmentation.
Right. That feels familiar. Like trying to work while your phone keeps buzzing. Is that it?
That's exactly it. Constant multitasking, notifications pulling you away. It splits your focus. Our research shows this kind of media multitasking is negatively correlated with working memory performance.
Our brains are just jumping all over the place.
Like playing mental whack-a-mole, yeah.
So it really sounds like the key thing isn't just if we use tech or even how much, but how we use it. Quality over quantity.
That's the crucial nuance, exactly. There's a big difference between active, engaged use and just passive consumption.
Can you give examples?
Sure. Active use might be, say, strategic video games that can actually boost visual attention or problem-solving skills, or using an app to learn a language.
Okay.
Versus passively scrolling through social media feeds for hours. that tends to have, well, different, often less beneficial effects.
Right. Okay, so focusing on how we use it is key. Now, what about solutions? Did the research offer any interventions?
Yes, and one was pretty striking, a large randomized controlled trial in 2025.
What did they do?
They simply had participants block their mobile internet access for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks.
And the results?
Significant improvements in subjective well-being, mental health, and get this, enhanced sustained attention.
Oh, enhanced.
To a level equivalent to being about 10 years younger, attention-wise.
Wow. Just from blocking mobile internet. Why?
Well, the idea is that people redirected that time. More socializing, exercising, spending time outdoors, things known to boost well-being and attention.
That's a really strong case for taking a digital break now and then. Okay, so let's bring it all together. Based on everything, what are the practical takeaways for you listening?
It really depends on age. For older adults, the message is actually quite positive. Embrace tech, use it actively. It seems to have real protective cognitive benefits.
Okay, and for young adults?
For young adults, it's more about mindfulness. Be aware of your usage. Find a balance between digital life and, real-world activities. And maybe those periodic digital detoxes aren't such a bad idea.
Makes sense. And finally, for children and adolescents?
There, the advice is clearer. Limit the recreational screen time, especially during those critical brain development phases. Prioritize physical activity, face-to-face interaction, the fundamentals.
So this whole digital dementia idea, it's definitely not a simple yes or no. It's complex.
Highly nuanced. It's not the devices themselves necessarily, but how we engage with them. And our age really matters.
Which leaves us all with a pretty important question to reflect on, doesn't it?
It does. How can you personally interact with technology more strategically? How can you make it a tool that genuinely enhances your cognitive well-being, your life?
Instead of letting it become just a source of distraction, or worse, contributing to cognitive decline. Something to think about in your own daily habits?